because I'm a human being and I'm wired so that loss thinks twice as much as an equivalent gain. And I believe Professor Kahneman actually gave a Nobel Prize winning behavioral economics theory. I think he said that he thinks it's actually 5 to 7 times as much, and he and Amos Tversky just said twice as much, so they get fewer arguments. So let's say we meet in the middle. Let's say you give in 10. Emotionally, you felt you gave 20, and you're not going to feel whole until you hit me for 20. Now you've hit me for 20. I'm not going to feel even till I've hit you for 40. This is a guaranteed downward spiral. Because we're human, it's impossible to compromise in a way that we both feel is fair, even if the numbers are exactly the same.
Okay, so then it seems to me like you're making the case that a negotiation that ends in compromise actually failed.
Amen.
Okay, well, that's worth thinking about. Yeah, because that would mean that neither party was able to switch the conceptual framework around so that both walked away enriched.
Exactly. Both are going to walk away feeling hurt. This is a recipe for bad. That ain't going to sustain.
Does that imply, let's say, then in business negotiation, if you can't negotiate an arrangement where you both walk away enriched and you have to default to compromise, that you should probably walk away?
Yeah, no deal is better than a bad deal.
Well, okay, so my question, I actually agree just from looking at.
You're not going to call me names like your dad.
No. I'm a very nice person. That's not even true. My dad is a nice person.
I know. I'm just teasing the both of you. I was looking forward to talking to you guys because I knew it was going to be fun.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm glad that weird from a second ago just happened. So I found that when I'm trying to negotiate things, I'm angry unless I change my mind or get what I want, which I think is what you were saying.
Interesting thought, yeah.
I've never felt okay with a compromise. So I kind of get what you're saying from there. Now, putting a toddler to bed, my go-to is, hey, you're 3 and I'm older than you, and 8 o'clock is the bedtime. Yeah, it's just power. It's authority. And it doesn't work. Yeah, it's authority. So that's my go-to. Now, Andre, my husband, negotiates with a 3-year-old, and I go, you're insane for negotiating with a 3-year-old, but he can talk her into deciding she wants to go to bed at 8, which is ideal. But when do you use authority? Or do you just think that's a bad tactic?
Well, using authority is bad for you long term, because then if it's with your children, you're conditioning them that you can't win without authority. Now I would ask you to consider in your interactions with your children over bedtime, you're trying to get them to go to bed, or you're trying to get them to think. And I would offer the larger view is to get them to think. And then at what age, how do you stimulate that thinking? 3 is a little early, 4 to 5, but you're really teaching your kids to think all along the way. You're showing them core values. And if you're getting your way with your kid based on authority, what kind of a core value are you showing them? Now, there are times children need discipline. Human beings need boundaries because it makes them feel secure. Stability.
Yeah, you could say that about 50 times, I would say.
Yeah. Everybody needs stability, predictability. Predictability turns into trust. Your kids need to know if you're going to set a line and how you're going to set that line. And then are you going to encourage them to think and become better people? And a lot of people use never split the difference in their interactions with their kids. And we get funny feedback like, I've cut 15 minutes off bedtime, or, 20 minutes off preparation time to go to bed. And then the interactions with the children are different. This is human nature stuff. This is really about human nature.
How about business stories? Let's walk through like a particularly successful transformation that you've seen with one of your clients. Something like that.
Wow. Yeah. Well, the first one that springs to mind, because my students at the business schools were my clients, my customers. I was coaching them into better deals. One of my students is doing a negotiation to come on with a company, and he's the best person for the job. He's worth more than what they're offering, and the job is worth more than what they're offering. He said, "We're at an impasse. I can't get any more out of it." I said, "Write down a list of questions that you would ask where the answer would be yes, that would prove your case. Now flip all those questions on its head and make every one of them a no-oriented question. And you'll be shocked what you can get away with getting somebody to say no. Do you want me to fail? Do you want to lose the best person for the job? Do you want the person that takes this job to fail?" He flipped all his yes questions to no questions. He came back to me, said the salary offer that they put on the table was so much higher than what they were authorized to do. They had to go to the CFO to give him permission to do the deal. Another job negotiation. Young man is a top analyst in his company, making boatloads of money for his company. Wants to go back and renegotiate his compensation package. The important thing here too is the other side doesn't feel beat. He goes to his boss and he says, "I'm earning more for you than anybody else is. I deserve a raise." And his boss says, "Yeah, those are all true, but I don't see how I can give you a raise that's fair to everybody else who's been here longer than you and have put more of their life into this company than you. So you come back to me in 2 weeks. If you can come up with a plan that shows how we can do this fairly, I'll give you the raise."
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 39 of the Jordan B.Peterson podcast. I'm Michaela Peterson, Jordan's daughter. This is a very recent interview with Chris Voss. The video version of the podcast is available on my YouTube channel. I originally invited Chris Voss onto my podcast, but Dad wanted to join, and obviously I was thrilled with that opportunity. I love podcasting with Dad. So if you want the video format, type in Chris Voss, Jordan Peterson on YouTube, and I'm sure the video will pop up. Chris Voss is an American businessman, author, and the CEO of the Black Swan Group, which teaches people how to negotiate. He co-authored Never Split the Difference, a book on how to negotiate, and a book on his experience as an FBI negotiator. This episode is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community, and it's offering our listeners a free trial of their premium membership. If you find yourself scrolling through socials or on Netflix too much, something like Skillshare is a better use of your time. There are so many fascinating classes there on topics including illustration, design, photography, animation, or productivity, starting